Hello and welcome. As you can see, I already have the props out for today's video. What we're going to explore is the separation illusion. And I'm going to do an oversimplified example of just how ridiculous we've been taught to think about separation in our world, separation caused by the color of your skin, culture, religion, things like that. And we'll go through some aspects of it and what we really are, and that the separation that we've been taught is completely fabricated, an illusion, and also why this separation has been taught to us. And we'll go through maybe some agenda behind that that's causing what you're seeing in the world today for people, countries, and all of that to go at war with each other when all of it is pretty ridiculous. So let's begin. Okay, so here I have my friends, and they're representing what we might call, colors of skin, races. Okay, so this is absolutely over exaggerated. There's way more than three colors, but you get the idea. My color, I think, is transparent. I wouldn't even call it white. Okay, so like this is much darker than me. And then, of course, it goes to black, which, okay, there's maybe not a color of skin that's this black, but I have been to Zimbabwe where I have witnessed the most beautiful color of the darkest, darkest chocolate I have ever seen. And it's a beautiful, beautiful color. But you get the idea. So there's lighter, there's darker, and there's 1,000 shades in between, okay? So right now I just have three examples of technically colors, but when you put eyeballs on it and then you put color on a person, all of a sudden we have ideas that have been programmed about certain colors, and then certain colors that come from certain countries. For example, we've been told by certain countries that, if you have a beige skin, let's just take, oh, you're this color in Mexico. So we've been told by the latest administration, you have to block the border because the people that come from Mexico are all these negative things. I won't even repeat what they say, but absolutely awful things because, they're this color and they come from this country. We've been taught in a history what the first explorers and the people that first came here, what they thought of, a mixture of these colors in here of the indigenous. So they used to call them savages, and that explained or justified to them while the colonized people had to kill all of these savages because of not just the color of their skin, but the way that they acted and what was taught, where it was the civilized way. But if you really look at it, the civilized way, when man came in, they kind of ruined everything and took away the indigenous culture, which had it right and had nothing to do with the color of skin or that they're riding on horses. They were never savages. But anyway, I digress. And then, what we were told here in North America about people on the darker spectrum. So, now they're called African Americans, they were called Black, anybody with a very dark skin tone because of the color of their skin. So if you're going into here, well, that means like they had dehumanized these colors. They humanize those colors so that they could use people of those colors. They literally sent ships to Africa and, as you know, gathered them as slaves because those people were much more inferior to them because of what? Because of the color of a skin, because there was no accuracy in that whatsoever. The people that were taking were tribal people that had all of the way better values than the people that took them and were into families, and some were royalty and amazing people that were just taken and based on the color of their skin that we were taught was inferior. Then in South Africa, again, when the whites came in there and they did apartheid, that, none of the colors can mix. So especially if you're on the whiter side and a white person with any of this color, well, you can't mix and you can't breed and you can't be seen in public, and everything needs to be separated because that's an inferior race, right? But it's just the outside. It's just the color of your skin. In America, those slaves for hundreds of years were the foundation, and they're the hard workers of everything that the Americas that was built on their backs. And then what are their thanks? Well, okay, you're set free, but then there were all these rules and stuff that taught to the whites is that the people in this color area are inferior, and there was segregation and there was total racism. And still to this day, that's why we still have problems. It's still to this day, sometimes when people see a different color, they judge them based on the color. So here I have just colors and just showing you by how ridiculous it is that we are judging people by the color of their skin. And then it's not just the color of their skin, the country that you're associated to, so it goes further than that. Then we have judgments on what that means, and certain religions, and then we pit religions against each other. So as much as there's racism, there's this religion against this religion, and it's absolutely ridiculous. So you get the point. I won't go on. You already know. You can see how crazy it is, but I'm just going to further illustrate just how this doesn't make sense. I'm going to get my one more prop here. Okay, so I brought in a bowl here, and I just want to let you know, we'll see if this works. So how this is just insane is that how we judge people is really when we say that we're all one. Well, what's inside the people, the soul, the consciousness, is all the same, right? So what's inside, what you can't see because we're so focused on the outside of people, is at its core, all colors, races, and all of that has nothing to do with who the people actually are. We're all one. We all have the same essence. You can call this source, you can call this God, you can call this light, the field, unified field. We're all one energy. And if I were to, I'm just going to cut these here, and my friends here, these were just masks, right? That was the water that was inside. These never meant anything. This is just the flesh suits that we all wear, right? Oh, eyeballs are falling out. So the paper is just the flesh suit that you're wearing, and the essence is all of the same. Humanity is all of the same. So we talked about colors, the color of the skin, which leads to racism because of the mental things that we've been taught about each race, people from countries, people from certain religions, and all of that. But also there's a major, I could have put this on it too, right? So I could have put a red, this is red and blue. I could have put this with eyeballs on it too, representing your political party. So in the States right now, a lot of division of, red against blue pitting each other. So it's not necessarily now the skin color. So now, okay, we're getting along, we're all equal, but you guys are Democrat, you guys are MAGA or Republican, or there's different, let's say, levels in each party, okay? In Canada, you would be liberal and conservative. Although we have a definite political divide, it is not used in the same way that it is in the States, where you pick a color, which side are you on, and then the other color is wrong. And that's where people are waking up to, like, wait a second, like, I don't hate the other people. I don't agree with who you're voting for in your political party, but that doesn't mean that you should hate the person, right? Like, people are waking up to, oh my gosh, like this is the illusion of skin color, political party, or whatever you want to use. And people are, you don't have to have a huge spiritual awakening, but they are awakening. You might be one of them that you've known this for a while, or awakening to the absolute nonsense of what we're doing, and that we're all this one source, right? That express ourselves in different areas. My opinion is it's not this people versus this people. What we're seeing right now in the world develop is we were taught this for a specific reason, and the problem isn't necessarily the people. The problem is usually the people at the top of the country. And let me illustrate what I'm talking about. I'm just going to clear this and then get my whiteboard. Okay, so I pre-did this so that you wouldn't have to watch me draw. So basically, what we're seeing, this is, let's say, a country, okay? And then I have the leader of a country. This is the leader. Then you have the government officials that are under the leader that you see, prime minister, president, doesn't matter. Usually you have a government, certain levels under that leader. And then you have the people of the country, right? You can have millions of people in that country. So for now, let's use the US because the US seems to be under its current leadership doing some funny things, okay? And then sometimes you'll hear, well, the Americans are crazy. The Americans are doing this. The Americans, it's not the Americans. It's not the American people. They're having huge protests. I live in Canada, so I have interacted with Americans many times over the years. The American people are amazing. The American people are loving. Most of the American people don't agree with any of this, and they would be into unity and treating each other fairly. Okay, that would be most Americans. But this is what we're seeing. So you have the leader that's elected, okay? And then you have all of the government people, okay? So it's not America that is causing problems. It is this layer here. So you have a leader making crazy decisions with all of the government people that are enabling the leader. And these are often corrupt, okay? There's lobbyists. I can say the same thing for Canada and many, many countries. The government is pretty much paid for by other agencies, and the leader often doesn't make the decisions that you think they do. So the leader of the US, I'm not sure, is actually doing any decisions on his own. People tend to blame him, but I'm not sure that he's doing anything. Usually the way it works is that there's puppet strings, right? This person, so you've got like somebody this is attached, okay, we're going to say that's puppet strings, and then you have somebody holding this, okay? And depending on the government and whoever it is, there's a couple levels above, and at this level above a leader is often corporation, things that will profit. There's like many families, the elites in the world, what is it, the 11, the 13 families in the world that pull all of the strings. And I believe they might be 1 or 2 level above them. And these levels are the ones that are pushing the separation agenda for us to fight within, to have chaos, to disagree, to think that it's the other people. But it's really, you have to remember, it's all at this level. When they call right now, they're saying the Epstein class, okay? Well, I'm going to say the E class. Yeah, that's in the government here, but there's an E class in many governments, and there's hundreds of E classes that are called different things, where there's corruption at this level, okay? But here's the thing to remember. Same with Iran, you know, any countries, you can name any nation here, where like the Iranians are the ones that are doing, you know, whatever. We must eliminate them. We'll obliterate them. So yeah, you've got some leaders at the top, just like the US, it's not immune, where you've got some shenanigans happening, certainly at the leader level. all the people that are with the leader and doing some shady stuff, but there's usually, like I said, a level or two above that you'll never know their names above that telling the leaders what to do. But here's what's important. So let's say these are the American people. The American people that are not calling the shots right now, the American people are wonderful people, and they want all the good things in life. And all of these individual people here in Iran are super beautiful people. I have to say that it just bothers me so much when people say, you know, the people of a country need to be eliminated. It's like, no, it's not the people of the country. It's this level here that there's some serious shenanigans going on, okay? The people in the countries are always lovely people. I worked with people from Iran in my last job. I think there was 4 or 5 people from Iran. They worked in production. I was in sales. They were in production. Every day was awesome. Like, they're beautiful people, and they would speak Persian, and I never knew what they were saying, but there was a couple ladies. They were always, you know, just lovely personalities, just so put together even when they're working in production. And there was this other guy that was so nice and just lovely, warm. They have their family, and at the time there was some things going on in Tehran, in the capital, a couple years ago, and we were checking in on them just to make sure, like, is your family okay? Are you being bombed? And they were really worried about their families back home. I can't imagine what they're feeling now. I'm not working there anymore, but the people in each nation are very much like that water, okay? The people are not a reflection of these leaders that are just causing all of the mayhem. This is the mayhem going on, okay? Has nothing to do with the people. I've made a lot of videos of that. Our nature is oneness. Our nature is loving. Our nature is unity. And I believe that most of the people are now waking up to this. Like, people are now, when you say awakening, they're awakening to the games, to the lies that we've been told. And when you look at the world today, it almost looks like fake, or like what's going on. It doesn't make sense, because more and more people are realizing the masks. This is just paper masks. We all want the same thing. We all want oneness and peace, and just let people be people. Like, we don't have to agree on the religion. We don't have to be the same religion. Yeah, we're different cultures. We're different everything. And it's not one against the other. It's one and the other. And just appreciating the differences. We will never get to a place where you take my religion and then we're all going to be the same religion, and it's a fight to all assimilate and be the same thing. The day is now to appreciate the differences in other and not judge it. You know, when you see somebody doing something super different, or dressed different, or doing something different, like, wow, that's interesting. What's that in your culture? I'm interested, right? As opposed to, oh my God, that's weird. Like, what's going on? We have a natural tendency to be like, whatever's different is not good. Or we fear the unknown because we don't understand a culture or a race. But what's happening now is there's more and more energies coming to the planet. There's more and more light, what you want to call plasma, and it's coming. It's exposing that darkness. There's going to be a lot of disclosure about this level coming up this year, and it's not just going to be the E-class. It's going to be like a lot of things and corruptions that you're going to see at multiple levels. I won't be surprised at all when I see it. It's, I think, far more, let's say, corrupt than probably most people think. At the same time, you're going to watch a lot of old systems crumble. As opposed to panicking and saying, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. This is an opportunity for us to think of what is wanted, what you really know in your heart, right? When there is a collapse of all the old systems that were corrupt, it's actually a good thing, because in its place, we're going to build new systems that is not hierarchy like this, new systems that's not the top 1%, I don't even know if it's 1%, 0.5% get all of the money and the rest are just workers in that class. As time goes on, that system, it's done, right? It's just had its time, and the people are waking up more and more. So it's up to us to build those systems that are more fair. So as the things are not awesome in the world now, right now, when you close your eyes, when you're going to bed at night, instead of like going through all the bad things that are going on in the world, think of how you want the world to be. You know, you can send your light, like I've mentioned in many other videos. You can send your light where all lights, and on the planet, it's sort of making like a light grid, and it's affecting the consciousness of the planet. And we need all of the people to not only, you know, there's like in the States, they're protesting right now, and I love what I'm seeing on the protests. They're not bashing a lot of stuff. They have signs of unity and love and peace, and they are standing up for what they want, right? And that's the way to do it. Is you can observe what's not going well. Don't go too much into the details. You can get the headlines, but your main frequency, what you want to send out, is something that is helpful to the planet. So you want to send love, you want to do meditations, you want to have inner peace, and remember that your every action is also being accumulated. So how you treat people in your life, what you do every day, will matter. And if we treat everybody with kindness, you treat everybody with kindness, everything that you do in the day. I treat everybody with kindness wherever I go. I send out light. I help out in any ways that I can in my own world, and you do the same. We're all changing the world and creating that new earth that we want to live in step by step. I hope this was helpful. My name is Jose Lindsay. This is Heartful. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.